If you're looking for a portable, reliable, rugged tripod, Joby's Gorillapod SLR-ZOOM with ball head might be the answer. We're going to spend a few moments and take a closer look at this tripod, and I'll give you my 2 cents on it. A few months ago, I set out to find an affordable, durable tripod, and I went to Amazon, like many of you have, and I started doing research, and I started looking at pricing, I started looking at reviews, and on Amazon, you'll see a lot of different portable tripods, like Joby's here, and they won't be sold by Joby or manufactured by Joby. They'll typically be by someone you've never heard of, and you'll see all these positive reviews. And you'll see the reviews and it'll be encouraging to you, but be wary and be careful, because if you know anything about Amazon and you know about new products and how those products are reviewed, it doesn't happen all the time, but some manufacturers will offer their products for free or at a severe discount to a group of reviewers that will review their products. Now, if those reviewers give poor reviews, chances are those manufacturers will not go back and offer those products for review anymore. So the reviews are meant to be honest, and you'll see disclaimers in them. I'll save that discussion for a whole nother video, but if you look at that and you think, yeah, I'm going to go ahead and get one, I've sampled some of the other tripods, and they really don't compare to the authentic version of what they're trying to imitate. So in this case, this is Joby's tripod right here, and it's the SLR-ZOOM. And this did come with the ball head on it. And I've had some really, really good experiences with this thing. I mean, I really, really like this. I'm using my Sony A6000 right now to shoot this video, and if you know anything about the A6000, it's a very lightweight mirrorless camera. This tripod has no trouble with the Sony camera. But if you really want to put this to the test, I do have my Nikon D7000 right here. Now this D7000, if you know anything about this camera, this thing is a beast, and it's weighty, it's meaty, it's heavy, and I also put on my, this is my 18-200 zoom lens on here, so the body coupled with this lens is going to be quite heavy. And what we'll do, I'll just run through a couple of tests here and see just how well the Joby can deal with and manage the Nikon D7000. What's nice about this type of tripod is that it's extremely configurable. So, you know, this tripod, as I've had this for a little while now, and I've used this in all kinds of instances, and I've had a lot of just great luck with this thing. If you're out and about and you carry this thing with you, let's do a little size comparison. I mean, you can see this right here, and you can see the Nikon and kind of how that stacks up. So yeah, this is going to be a little bit taller, a little bit bigger, but again, this is SLR. So when you're out and about, though, if you're next to a fence or a tree or a pole or whatever you've got, these little legs right here can easily wrap around things. Now, I have a step stool that we're going to use for testing purposes that I'll try to wrap this around the top of the handle of the step stools, and again, I'll attach the Nikon to it, and we'll see just how well it does. The release plate up here, I think this works out great. My only thought about this is it has a little leveler right here. It's got the little bubble level on it, which is nice if you're trying to level off your shot. However, when I have a camera hooked onto this and I do a quick release and pop the camera off, and I toss my camera off to the side in a bag perhaps, I'm always thinking I'm going to bust this little glass, and it hasn't happened. I mean, I don't know if that's glass or it's plastic of some sort, but it's been very durable, so I'm not overly concerned about it. But other than that, you know, this thing is just, it's great. Like I said, I just really like this thing. But let's go ahead and put it to the test, and let's just see how well it performs. I have my Nikon D7000 right here, and I put the release plate on the bottom, as you can see. And I have my Gorillapod set up right here. Now, one thing I do want to cover is that when you look at the legs on this, it's kind of funny. It looks like a creature from outer space or something. But I have these legs bent down and over roughly at 90-degree angles right here. Now, and it's fine, you could set it up like this if you want and straighten the legs out, kind of like that. But when you go to do this, if you have something heavy on this tripod, and kind of regardless of whatever tripod, it's really pretty stiff. Now this is rated to hold, I believe, up to 6 pounds, but you know, if I push up on this, you can kind of see how that wants to tilt up. So it's kind of easy. You might be able to tighten that down a bit. Same thing over here, but you notice that the point of tilt is a little more around the second or third piece down here on the leg. And this leg over here is kind of in the same boat, kind of around the second or third there. But again, this one is right around the top. So regardless though, what you'll find is if you put it flat, and all these legs are kind of straight, just like that. If I put something heavy on the top right here, then it's going to want to just kind of push down. But if you take your legs and you bend them in this fashion right here, where it kind of looks like they're kind of like a claw, then what happens is that this can only bend up so far. So when I go to push down, it's got a lot more resistance on it. So it's something to think about. If you have a tripod and you find that the legs kind of collapse a little too easy, look at the configuration of the leg. And if you can get it to look like this, you're going to be in much better shape. Nonetheless, let's go ahead and get our camera on here. I'm going to go ahead and just slide this in. Now, it's got the standard screw mount on the bottom. I think you can see that. And I just use my finger to tighten it when I always have a coin nearby, but not right now. So I'm going to go ahead and slide this in. You can just kind of see how it snaps in. And there you go. Now, if you know anything about the Nikon D7000, so you'll know that it's weighty and it's meaty and it's heavy. Now, I'll go ahead and just extend out the lens. I'm going to pull this back a little bit, and let's just extend that out and see if we get any kind of creep. And we don't. This thing seems to be pretty solid. And with the ball head down here, when you have this up, you got to be sure this is tightened down quite a bit. This ball head is great. It's got a nice little rubber grip on it. But if I just loosen it, you know, slightly, I can easily maneuver the camera around. And then really it's just a quick quarter turn and it's locked down and we're good to go. So you can rotate like this if you want and kind of lock that down. And you can yeah, like I say, you can get portrait out of it and get this way with it. It has a notch in the ball head over here, which allows you to do that. Now again, I just finger tighten my plate on there, so I think it's got a little bit of drift if I were to let that go. But it definitely does lock down. So what I'm going to do right now is let's see if we can grip this thing onto a, as I mentioned, I do have a step ladder here we'll use for testing purposes. I'm going to pull that out and I'm going to show you how these legs can lock around step ladders and whatever else you might come across, doorknobs, fence posts, whatever. For this quick demo, I picked up a step stool that was nearby, and I just want to show you how the Gorillapod will grip onto whatever. Now I'm going to grip it to this bar right here, and this bar could be anything. I mean, it could be a fence post, it could be whatever. So here is our camera with the Gorillapod attached to it, and this is the Nikon D7000. So again, it is meaty and weighty and all the other good terms that come with a camera that feels like you could go to the Amazon with it. So all I'm doing is I got two legs on the back here and I got the one on the front, and with whatever you come up with or come across when you have this Gorillapod, you just wrap These little kind of gray pieces right here, these are rubberized, so they're really kind of, they're grippy and it's nice. So what I'm doing is I'm just taking these back two legs, I'm just wrapping them around on the front. I'm going to take this front leg and just pull it straight up and just try to get this on here. Now, when you go to wrap this thing, I mean, you're going to wrap however you can to get that thing to stick. And you're going to find, like in this case, that's it. I mean, it's on there, and that's solid. I mean, I can push on this a little bit, and actually, this will not come off without this whole thing knocking over. So, in this case, though, you can see I'll go full extension on the lens, and everything's locked down. You know, sometimes you might look at this and you're thinking, well, what about it being level? Well, that's where your ball head comes in right here. And again, the ball head that comes with the Joby on the back has the, turn this around, but it has the level glass right here, which is kind of nice. So if you wanted to, you know, you turn around, I can loosen this up, and then it's just, again, about a quarter turn. You readjust to level out your bubble in there if you want, and you're good to go. So that's essentially how that works. And keep in mind, I mean, you could attach this to doorknobs, and I mean, I've used it for all sorts of purposes. And hopefully this will kind of give you some ideas as to what you can do with this tripod. I really like this tripod, and I think Joby did a great job with it. It seems to be very reliable and durable. I really like the ball head as well. I think it's extremely configurable and it's helpful. Now, if you already have a ball head, then obviously you don't need the one that comes with this. And one quick note about price is that if you live near Best Buy will price match. So as of today, I just did some quick research. Best Buy sells this for $55 roughly. Amazon sells this for $44, $45, something like that. So if it's more convenient for you, you can run right down to a Best Buy and just take your smartphone with you or whatever you have and let them know that it's selling on Amazon for about $10 cheaper, and they'll price match, and there you go. Keep in mind, that is the price with the ball head. It sells for quite a bit cheaper if you don't need that ball head, so something to think about. Well, I hope you liked this video, and if you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't done so, go ahead and subscribe to this channel. It's called The Real World. And you never know what I might post. More often than not, I post videos about photography and technology. But I also post videos about automotive maintenance and homeownership. You just never know. So, until the next video, take care of yourself and be safe.